To tell us more about Rex Education and to officially open today's event, let us hear from Rex Education's Chief External Affairs Officer, Ms. Danda Cremelda I. Buhay.
Good afternoon and welcome everyone. It's truly an honor to be here today in the midst of servant leaders dedicated to improving the justice system and processes on the barangay level. Before we move on to today's exciting discussion and lecture, allow me to introduce to you the brand new Rex Education, a brand, a community, an advocacy, a tradition of service, dedicated to inspiring every Filipino lifelong learner to advance themselves and uplift others. With 70 years of service and dedication to education, we have evolved from that iconic bookstore that we all know to something bigger and more significant. From just providing learners with published educational materials, we are now accompanying everyone throughout their lifelong journey. Learning in all forms, beyond the walls of institutions, learning for delight, enlightenment, and fulfillment. And true to our tradition of service, Rex Education is guided by the Edu-Campion philosophy, which seeks to rally and empower education duty bearers. We believe that all of us are Edu-Campion, champions for education, who are all working with the best interests of the Filipino whole learner in mind. As Rex Education, our mission is to empower all duty bearers in the field of education to champion education no matter the circumstances. It is through and because of this that we are excited to spend the next 2 hours with you as we come together to unveil our most updated offering for the Philippine legal community, titled Jurisdictional and Procedural Aspects Revised Katarungang Pambarangay Law. This book will be beneficial for the most basic and important unit in the local government, which is the barangay. This material comes with a comprehensive compilation and substantial provisions of the Katarungang Pambarangay Law's jurisprudence and procedures, rules on the venue, ruled cases from the Supreme Court, and related laws and opinions of the DILG and the Department of Justice. The barangay officials are the first respondent to issues and needs in most cases. And this new book from Rex Education seeks to empower barangay justice practitioners so that they may accomplish better their initiatives to catalyze resolutions and peace at the community level. Leading today's discussion is the one and only author of the book, a law professor at the University of San Jose Recoletos School of Law and University of Southern Philippines School of Law, concurrent chief of Local Government Monitoring and Evaluation Division for the DILG Region 7, senior member of the Young Lawyers Association of Cebu, and city director of the Department of Interior and Local Government, Cebu City. Friends, join me in welcoming our newest partner in championing legal education, Attorney Kenneth Belmonte Lucero.
Good afternoon, attorney.
You may proceed, attorney, with your presentation.
Okay. Maayong hapon sa tanan for the Visayas and Mindanao. Luzon, magandang hapon po. Sa Ilocos po, naimbag nga malem yung amin, gigiyem ken kakabsat. Okay. So, regarding this book, actually this is my second knowledge product when it comes to barangay justice system. The first edition was published in 2011, and after 10 years, meron nang itong 2021 edition. But ang diferensya lang po is I focus on the two important aspects of the Katarungang Pambarangay. Basically, there are 4 aspects of the Katarungang Pambarangay Law. We have the organizational aspect, the administrative aspect, the procedural aspect, and the jurisdictional aspect. But in this book, more emphasis on the jurisdictional and procedural aspect, plus meron konting administrative aspect. Okay. So why focus on the jurisdictional and procedural? As I've said, ito po yung mga pinaka-crucial or critical na aspeto, no? So itong book na ito, ang first discussion natin dito is about the authority of the lupon. Kailan may kapangyarihan ang lupong tagapamayapa na pagharapin ang dalawang partido, the complainant and the respondent, no, who are actual residents of the same city and municipality. Okay. So as a rule, sa batas po natin, the general rule is lahat po ng klase ng dispute, all disputes, dadaan po yan sa barangay. Hindi ka pwedeng dumiretso sa korte or any government agency concerned kung hindi dadaan muna sa barangay. At kailangan natin ito yung tinatawag nating license natin to go to court. Ito yung sinasabi nilang certificate to file action. In the event na no settlement, walang nangyaring settlement, walang nangyaring kasunduan between the complainant and the respondent. Okay. So, as I've said, Section 408, the general rule, lahat po ng reklamo, lahat po ng dispute, dadaan po sa barangay. But ano po yung mga exceptions, the negative list? Ano yung mga klase ng dispute na hindi na kailangan ipadaan sa barangay? Diretso na po tayo sa korte, diretso na po tayo sa any government agency concerned. So, ibig sabihin, kailan hindi applicable ang Katarungang Pambarangay Law? Anong klase ng dispute? Okay. So here, very important is, kailan tatanggapin ni Kapitan yung reklamo ng isang complainant. So, inilagay po natin dito sa book na to, inarrange po natin yung batas, parang inayos natin para mas madaling intindihin sa mga barangay. Okay? So here, there are 3 requirements. Basically, dalawa lang yan, ang kategoryan. Requirement as to parties and requirement as to subject matter. But requirement as to parties, may dalawang requirement din yan, sub-requirements. First requirement is, parties are natural persons. Parties are individuals. That is under Section 410. So ibig sabihin, mga tao lamang ang pwedeng maging complainant or respondent sa barangay. Only human beings. So, in other words, hindi po pwede dito ang juridical persons. At ano-ano itong juridical persons? Makikita po natin yan sa Civil Code. Article 44 po yan. At jurisprudence. Like, example, the testate and intestate estate. Yung mga pagmamay-ari ng namatay na tao, that is considered as juridical person po. Okay. So, yan po yung first requirement. Individuals only. Okay. Number 2 requirement as to requirement as to parties. Parties are actual residents of the same city or municipality. That's the rule. Kasi merong isang instance na pwedeng i-handle ng barangay kahit hindi the same municipality or city kung saan nakatira ang complainant and respondent. Okay? But the general rule, dapat the same municipality, the same munisipyo, dapat nakatira ang complainant and respondent. But the requirement of the law is not just a resident, it's actual residence. Ibig sabihin, sabi ng Supreme Court, actual residence means the physical presence, actual habitation ng complainant at respondent as compared to legal residence po. Okay. So, dito rin yung mga maraming Supreme Court decisions, itong requirement na ito, parties are actual residents of the same city or municipality. Marami po tayong cases. Example, Tavora versus the Tavora case, no? Versus Veloso case. Okay. At yung mga bar candidates na nanonood din dito, candidates who will be taking this 2021 bar, ito rin yung bar area. Itong second requirement. Ito yung first question ng 2018 bar examination. Yung actual respondents or the actual residence requirement. No? At yung mga place of settlement. Okay. So number 3 requirement, yung requirement as to subject matter. So the subject matter of the dispute must be within the authority of the lupon to settle amicably. Okay. But as I've said kanina, yung sinabi ko, mayroong mga exceptions. May mga listahan, ano yung mga disputes na hindi na kailangan dumaan pa sa barangay. Ito yung pre-provide po ng batas natin. Saan po natin makikita? Nandyan po sa Section 408. Nandyan po sa Section 412 Paragraph B. At yung mga Supreme Court decisions na sinasabi ng Korte Suprema na ang barangay walang kapangyarihan po. At number 4, yung mga legislations ng Kongreso po natin na sinasabi ng Congress, sinasabi ng batas, barangay, wala po tayong kapangyarihan dyan. Ibigay natin po sa ibang opisina or agency or the court. So, banggitin ko lang po ng konti, some examples lang, just an appetizer, no? Kasi baka kung i-discuss ko ang buong laman ng libro, baka hindi na kayo bibili nito. Okay. So, first exception, Section 408. If one of the parties is a government, is an instrumentality of the government, or a political subdivision, wala na pong jurisdiction ng barangay. Kahit wala yung 408 paragraph A na yan, kasi redundant lang yan, kasi that is a juridical person. No? Kasi 410 sinasabi dapat individual po. Number 2, kung any of the parties or one of the parties is a public officer or a public employee and the dispute relates to the performance of his official duties and functions, wala po, hindi po yan saklaw ng Katarungang Pambarangay. Labas na po dyan ang barangay. Kung related po yan sa official function niya. Bakit? Ito po yung reason po yan. Kasi kung related sa official functions niya, ibig sabihin may administratibo na aspeto. May administrative aspect po yan. Yan po yung risk ng isang public employee, one wrongful act or omission, pwede tayong humarap ng 3 klase ng liability or case. Isang pagkakamali lang po ng isang empleyado ng gobyerno, pwede tayong makasuhan ng 3 klase, criminal, civil, and administrative. Administrative if we want to discipline that employee. Pwede nating patalsikin or pwedeng isuspenso o i-reprimand kung ano man ang applicable. So bakit hindi pwedeng saklawin ng katarungan? Kasi when an administrative case is filed, you are not actually penalizing the public employee or officer. But we are protecting the public office. Not penalizing the officer concerned, but we are protecting the public office. Sinabi ng batas, public office is a public trust. Yung tiwala ng mga tao. And public office is outside or beyond the commerce of men. Ibig sabihin, hindi po saklaw ng any compromise agreement po dyan. No settlement po. Eh, hindi natin pwedeng subject yan ng isang kontrata. No? The public office. Okay. Number 3, exception is if there is no private offended party. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng Katarungang Pambarangay cases po, lahat po dyan, merong biktima. Hindi pwedeng walang biktima po. Dapat may biktima. Ano yung klase ng mga cases ng no private offended party? Yang mga violation ng traffic rules. No left turn, no U-turn, no right turn, jaywalking, no loitering, no littering, prostitution. Wala pong private offended party po yan. No? So hindi po yan saklaw ng Katarungang Pambarangay. Then number four, criminal cases. Dito sa criminal case, meron po tayong limitasyon. Meron tayong qualifications po dito. Unlike in civil case, wala po tayong contradistinction. Unlike in criminal case, merong limit ang barangay. Ang karaniwang batas, the current law, the revised Katarungang Pambarangay Law, kung ang penalty of the crime committed, no, ang inimpose ng batas ay more than 1 year imprisonment, labas na po ang barangay po dyan. At kung yung penalty of fine ay lampas ng 5,000 pesos, labas na po dyan ang barangay. So ibig sabihin, yun lang pong mas mababa sa isang taon na pagkabilanggo or below 5,000 na fine, yun yung saklaw po ng Katarungang Pambarangay. At dito ko gusto ko lang i-emphasize, dito yung nakukonfuse minsan yung mga barangay, yung mga lupon. Bakit? Yung 5,000 na po yan. That 5,000, that is a penalty of a crime committed, no, by a person. Yan yung penalty na i-impose. Pwedeng imprisonment, pwedeng multa. Hindi po yan yung civil. Kasi when it comes to civil case, particularly the collection of sum of money, regardless of the amount, basta collection of sum of money po tayo, regardless of amount, dadaan po yan sa barangay. Kahit milyon, bilyon pa yan, dadaan po yan sa barangay for as long as all the basic requirements na ma-establish natin yung authority of the lupon to handle that case, complied po lahat yan. First requirement, parties are individual, parties are actual residents of the same city or municipality, and the subject matter of the dispute, which is the collection of sum of money. Kaya sinasabi ko sa barangay, kasi takot daw sila, kasi ang laki na yung amount na involved. Bakit tayo matatakot? Hindi naman tayo yung naghahawak ng pera na yan. No? Nandyan po tayo just to settle the case. Okay. So, number 5, kung ito na po yung exception ng rule, parties are actual residents of the same city or municipality. Kung hindi parehas yung residence nila, wala na pong, labas na po ang barangay yan. Pero sabi ng batas, unless kung yung complainant at respondent, yung barangay po nila ay adjoin each other. So magkatabi po yan. Pero may next requirement yan. Sabi ng batas, at yung complainant at respondent po, merong kasunduan na ipapadaan muna sa barangay. Appropriate lupon. Yung lumang batas, PD 1508 po, isang requirement lang po yun. For as long as adjoin each other yung barangays. Kahit magkaiba yung munisipyo, basta adjoin each other, kahit walang prior agreement to submit their differences before an appropriate lupon, pwede na po yun. Yun yung old law, the PD 1508. But yung Republic Act 7160, the revised Katarungang Pambarangay Law, dinagdagan po ng isang requirement. Adjoin each other plus parties agree to submit their differences before an appropriate lupon. Okay. So yan po yung exception to the rule at yung exception to the exception. Okay. Last, under Section 408, yan yung sinasabi nating real property. Kung ang real property po situated in different municipalities or cities, wala na po, hindi na po yan saklaw ng Katarungang Pambarangay. So different municipalities or cities. So ibig sabihin po, at least 2 municipalities or cities. Yung real property situated ng at least 2 or more municipalities or cities po tayo. Kasi kung isang municipality lang siya na situate, covered po yan ng Katarungang Pambarangay. Okay. So, anong exception to the exception? Ang exception po dyan kailan pwede nating pagharapin ang complainant at respondent kahit yung real property ay situated po doon sa different municipalities or cities po. Sinasabi din doon kung ang parties, complainant and respondent po ay nagkasundo na ipapadaan muna sa barangay. Okay. Pero titingnan natin yung requirement number 1 and number 2. Kahit magkasundo si complainant at respondent na ipadaan muna sa barangay yung land dispute, yung real property dispute, kahit situated in at least 2 or more municipalities or cities, kung hindi sila the same municipalities or cities nakatira, hindi po yan mag-a-apply ang exception to the exception. So dapat the same individual sila, the same municipality or city ang residence nila, then papasok yung real property. Kahit ilang municipalities pa, pwede natin i-handle sa barangay for as long as may prior agreement to submit their differences to the lupon, appropriate lupon po. So, ito yung section 408 po. Section 412 paragraph B. So, ito yung guide ng kapitan pag tanggap ng reklamo. Kung dapat alam niya yung mga negative list. Kung wala sa negative list, atin po yan sa barangay. So, section 412 paragraph B, anong sinasabi po ng batas? Sabi ng batas, a party may go directly to the court. So, pwede na siyang dumiretso sa court kahit hindi siya kakatok sa barangay. No need for any certification. First, if the accused has already been detained, nakakulong na po ang akusado. So, hindi na po pwedeng makialam ang barangay dyan. Number 2, if merong main action, tapos may provisional remedies po tayo. Yung mga provisional remedies, hindi po yan pwede sa barangay. Korte po yan. Kasi yung principal action, meron na po yan sa korte. So, example ng provisional remedies, injunction, attachment, replevin, yung support pending litigation or support pendente lite. So, hindi po yan pwede saklawin ng Katarungang Pambarangay po. Okay. Next is, kung merong petition for habeas corpus, hindi po tayo pwede dyan, barangay. Korte lang po yan. Okay. Number 4, kung yung right to file an action ng complainant is about to prescribe under statute of limitations, pwede na po siyang dumiretso sa korte. About to prescribe po. Okay. But we have to correlate this one to the new feature of the Katarungang Pambarangay Law. Kasi sabi ng Katarungang Pambarangay Law, upon filing of the complaint before the punong barangay, the running of the prescriptive period, the right to file an action before the court shall be suspended. Hihinto po yan. The moment you file a complaint before the barangay, yung prescriptive period, yung karapatan mong magsampa ng kaso sa korte, hihinto po yan. So hindi pwede, hindi matatakot ang complainant. Example, pero sabi ng batas, provided that suspension should not exceed 60 days din. So hanggang 60 days lang po yan matutulog, yung running of the prescriptive period. Wala yan sa lumang batas, yung PD 1508. This is one of the significant features of the revised Katarungang Pambarangay Law. Kasi yung old law noon, walang suspension. Kaya ang ginagawa ng iba noon, hindi magfa-file ng reklamo sa barangay. They will just wait na mag-e-expire na, magpre-prescribe na yung right to file an action. Kaya pupunta na sila sa korte. So sinocircumvent nila yung barangay justice system. But here, this is an assurance for the complainant na pag na-file yung kaso sa barangay, hindi tatakbo yung prescriptive period. Provided hindi lalagpas ng 60 days. Kung 60 days na, so by implication, no, kung hindi pa na-resolve, wala pang settlement, wala pang resolution sa barangay regarding sa reklamo, tatakbo yan, babalik yan, no? Babalik yung mawawala na yung suspension. So yung example, oral defamation, slight oral defamation that is within the authority of the lupon to settle. Mayroon tayong 6 months from the time of the commission of the crime, offense, no? So mayroon siyang 6 months. Assuming na yung complainant, after 5 months from the time of the commission, dyan pa siya nakapag-isip na isasampa niya yung reklamo doon sa barangay kasi hindi siya pwedeng dumiretso sa korte. So meron pa siyang natitirang 30 days. Kaya yung 30 days na yan, upon filing, matutulog yan sa barangay. Pero after 30 days or after 60 days, hindi pa, wala pang action or wala pang resolution sa barangay. Babalik at babalik, tatakbo na yung remaining 30 days natin. So kung palapit na, mauubos na yung 30 days, no, wala pa ring certificate to file action or wala pa ring amicable settlement, ang complainant dyan, kung malapit nang maubos yung right to file an action niya, yung prescriptive period niya po, pwede po na siyang dumiretso po sa korte at gagamitin yung section 412 paragraph B po. At yan na po yung authority niya or right niya na magsampa ng reklamo doon even without the certificate to file action. Because of that section 412 paragraph B, a party may go directly to the court when the right to file action is about to prescribe. Okay. So, let's proceed with the jurisprudence. Ano yung mga rulings ng Supreme Court na nagsasabing hindi na kailangan dumaan sa barangay? Yung sinabi ko kanina, yung juridical entity. No, that is the case of Viuda de Borromeo versus Pugoy na hindi pwedeng mga juridical person sa barangay. Okay. Number 2, yung compromise judgment, yung agreement approved by the court. Korte po ang nag-approve. Itong kaso na to ang nangyari parang doon niya gusto ipa-annul sa barangay. Hindi yan pwede. It should be the court. Okay. Number 3, labor dispute. Case ng Montoya case. Lumabas din to sa bar exam. Montoya case. Labor dispute with employer-employee relationship, hindi po yan pwedeng dadaan sa Katarungang Pambarangay. Sabi ng korte, meron silang sariling mekanismo how to settle labor dispute. Nandyan po yan sa labor code. Kaya hindi po pwedeng saklawin ng barangay yan. Okay. Let's go to number 4. Number 4, legislations. So, mga batas na pinasa ng Kongreso na nagsasabing barangay, wala po tayong kapangyarihan dyan. First, the vowsy law. Vowsy cases. No? Express yan, sinabi po ng batas na hindi po natin pwedeng i-apply ang mga mediation proceedings, conciliation proceedings sa vowsy cases. Then, even the punong barangays, the barangay officials, and the court, they are not authorized to conduct mediation. So, hindi po yan pwede sa vowsy. Hindi po pwedeng dadaan sa Katarungang Pambarangay po. Number 2, we have the Child Abuse Act. Hindi rin po pwede yan sa barangay. Nandiyan din yun sa resolution ng committee sa DOJ na may procedure na hindi po pwedeng dumaan yan sa barangay. Number 3, yung Anti-Bullying Act of 2013. Sinabi rin ng implementing rules and regulations yan is hindi po siya subject for barangay conciliation. Kasi may sariling process yung sa Anti-Bullying Act. May sariling process. May investigation committee. Meron silang proseso. Okay. Next is yung CARP, yung the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program. Kasi meron din sarili silang mechanism how to conduct settlement when it comes to the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program. So yan po yung mga iilan. Meron din tayo sa Civil Code. Ano yung mga hindi pwedeng subject for compromise agreement? No? Yung mga legal separation, yung sa marriages, future support, legitimate, the civil status, hindi po yan subject ng compromise agreement. Sinabi po yan ng Civil Code. So basically, ito yung mga exceptions po. Kasi sabi ko, as a rule, lahat dadaan po sa barangay except sa mga listahan na po ito. 408, 412 paragraph B, Supreme Court decisions and congressional legislations po. How about ordinance? Pwede po ba? Saklaw po ba? Yes, for as long as ma-meet natin yung tatlong requirements. No? Yung ordinansa po, merong mga parties, may individual ang parties, at yung subject matter of the dispute. Sigurado, subject matter of the dispute, saklaw yan kasi yung imprisonment not to exceed 1 year yung sa kanila at yung sa penalty nila not to exceed 5,000 din, if I'm not mistaken. So basically saklaw, but titingnan na lang natin sa ibang requirements kung ang parties ay may private offended party ba tayo dyan sa ordinansa na yan, mga regulatory ordinances nila. Okay, so those are the requirements wherein the lupon shall have authority to bring together the parties, no, for amicable settlement. Okay, so how about place of settlement? Place of settlement, discuss lang po tayo konti ng venue. This is found in section 409. Jurisdiction is found in section 408. So 408, 409. So unahin po natin ang 408. Basahin muna ang 408. Kasi kung walang jurisdiction po ang lupon to settle the dispute, forget 409. Huwag muna po tayong mag-isip saang barangay natin ipa-file yung reklamo. Kasi wala ng jurisdiction ang lupon. Bakit pa tayo mag-iisip ng place of settlement? Pero kung if we establish the authority of the lupon to settle the dispute, that's the time we proceed to section 409. Saang barangay ba natin isasampa ang reklamo? Okay, so first rule, the primary rule, where the respondent resides. That is the respondent's actual residence rule. Tinawag ko yung respondent's actual residence rule. Kung saan nakatira po ang respondent, saang barangay po siya. But the question is, what if there are 2 or more respondents living in the same municipality or city? So, pipili po yan yung complainant at the election of the complainant kung saan niya gusto isampa yung reklamo. Okay, that's the principal rule, the default, no? Number 2, where the real property is located. Okay, where the real property is located. So, ibig sabihin, kung saan yung real property na situate, doon po tayo magfa-file ng complaint using KP Form number 7, complaint. So, kahit yung complainant at respondent, parehas yung municipality nila, kung saan sila nakatira, but the location of the real property is situated outside their municipality, doon po natin i-file yung complaint kung saan ang location ng real property. Okay. So, what about if the real property is situated in 2 different barangays, located in 1 municipality po? Sabi ng batas, doon sa mas malaki na portion of the real property po, doon po natin isasampa yung reklamo. So dito sa book na ito, nandito yung mga illustrations, may mga drawing po tayo dito. Kung mapapansin nyo po ito, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, kasi lahat ng libro namin sa law books, no, during our time, hindi kami makakita ng mga drawing or illustrative drawing po. Ito ginawan ko po ng drawing, mga illustrative na may mga boxes po yan as reinforcement, no? Yung illustrations natin dito para mas madaling maintindihan po sa mga barangay justice practitioners po natin. Okay, so makikita po natin. At nandito na rin po yung, makikita nyo rin dito yung flowchart na ginawa po natin. Mediation proceeding, conciliation proceeding po, nandyan po yung flowchart. Parang summary po ng librong sa procedural aspect niya po. As your guide pa rin po. At nandito rin yung updated natin na list of felonies na saklaw po ng Katarungang Pambarangay dahil meron na po tayong amended. yung revised penal code po natin noon, mas malawak yung saklaw ng barangay. Pero by virtue of Republic Act 10951, may mga adjustment po tayo sa fine and imprisonment. So, nakalagay na rin po dito kung ano yung mga felonies under revised penal code as amended, ano yung mga saklaw po ng Katarungang Pambarangay. Okay. The next place of settlement is where the workplace is situated or where the institution is situated. Tinatawag ko po itong the common workplace rule or the common place of study rule. Nandyan po yan sa libro na yan. Kailan applicable ang common workplace rule? Kailan applicable ang common place of study rule? Wala po yan sa old law, the PD 1508. Wala po yan. Kaya significant feature din to, ito ay bagong feature ng revised Katarungang Pambarangay Law. So, dalawang requirement lang po yan ang titingnan natin. Two requirements only. First, yung dispute nangyari po sa workplace, sa premises, within the premises of the workplace. At yung involved sa dispute, the complainant and respondents are both employees of the same employer po. So iisa lang po ang employer nila at doon nangyari sa premises ng employer nila yung dispute. Ganon din po yung eskwelahan. Dapat doon nangyari sa eskwelahan yung dispute at dalawang the same students or enrollees ng the same school yung involved. So ito yung mga requirements. So to summarize the place of settlement rule, no? Kung ang dispute involves real property, forget the principal rule where the respondent reside. Kalimutan po natin yan. Forget the common place of study rule, complete the common workplace rule. Pero kung ang involved ay employees, dalawang empleyado ng isang kumpanya at doon nangyari sa workplace or sa institution kung saan nag-aaral, forget the principal rule, forget the real property rule. Okay? Pero kung hindi po involved ng real property, the dispute does not involve real property, the dispute does not involve employees or students. No? Always the principal rule yung i-apply natin. Kung saan nakatira yung respondent, doon po tayo magsasampa ng reklamo po. Okay. So dito po sa book na ito, this is designed for barangay lupon members at barangay officials natin. Q&A po ito, makita natin yung step by step talaga na proseso doon sa lupon. So ito makikita nyo yung kailan inumpisahan ang reklamo at kailan matatapos ang reklamo. So from birth to death of a complaint. So makikita po natin dito. At kailan tatanggap ng reklamo si punong barangay being the lupon chairman ng lupong tagapamayapa. At nandito rin yung mga forms lahat. Makikita nyo dito later sa book na ito, kailan gagamitin yung KP forms. So step by step, makikita nyo kung saan, kailan gagamitin. Hindi lang yung naka-attach. Although naka-annex siya, but makikita nyo sa discussion, kailan gagamitin yung KP form natin. At nandito rin yung guide. This is also one of my objectives din. Nandito rin yung guidance o guidelines ng Lupong Tagapamayapa Incentives Awards. Yung annual incentivization ng national government through the DILG. That is one of our mandates, no? To give recognition sa mga lupong tagapamayapa na talagang nag-perform talaga. Kasi kung titingnan nyo, ang laking tulong ng Katarungang Pambarangay or the lupon sa national government when it comes to resources. Why? Because one settled case, we have an estimate of 9,500 per case as savings of the national government. Okay. So we have 42,046 barangays. Assuming tag-isa lang ang nasettle niya for 1 year. Pero masyado ng conservative yan. Hindi na makatotohanan. But example lang, and so that is 42,046 times 9,500. No? So kung tig 50 to 100 cases a year sila, every barangay, that is billion. No? Billions yung masesave ng national government. So ang laki ng tulong po. At natutulungan din po natin yung criminal justice system natin. Why? Because this is an outside of the criminal justice system. Outside of the criminal justice system. So kung nase-settle natin yung reklamo diyan, malelesen yung trabaho ng mga offices involved in the criminal justice system. Okay. Then another feature of my book is kailan may kapangyarihan ang barangay to settle dispute wherein the respondent is a minor de edad po. Ito yung child in conflict with the law under RA 9344 as amended by RA 10630. Iniligay ko po din dito. Ito yung special Katarungang Pambarangay case po to. Bakit special? Kasi may 4 na requirement po. Kailan pwede? So first requirement is yung age ng menor de edad, yung edad po niya ay more than 15 years old but more than 15 years old but less than 18 years old at the time of the commission of the crime. Ano pong ibig sabihin ng more than 15 years old? 15 years and 1 day old. Okay. So that is the first requirement. Kasi sabi ng batas, pwede palang i-conduct yung diversion proceeding sa barangay through the Katarungang Pambarangay system. So pwede palang ipadaan sa Katarungang Pambarangay. Okay. So may dalawa kasi tayong program sa CICL, intervention and diversion program. Kung intervention, hindi po yan saklaw ng Katarungang Pambarangay. Kung diversion, yan po yung saklaw ng Katarungang Pambarangay. So kailan po tayo magkakandak ng diversion proceeding in the Katarungang Pambarangay? So first, more than 15 years old but less than 18 years old, yung menor de edad, kung kailan niya na-commit yung krimen. Number 2, this is very, very important requirement, that the minor has acted with discernment. Who will determine the discernment requirement? According to the law, it should be the local social welfare officer po. Meron siyang instrument to determine kung merong discernment o wala. Kung may discernment, atin po yan sa barangay. Kung walang discernment, intervention po yan. Sa social welfare na po yan. So that's the second requirement. Third requirement, special siya. Bakit? Kung yung ordinary KP natin, the maximum penalty of the crime committed ay not more than 1 year, ito sa CICL po, not more than 6 years po. Kung not more than 6 years yung crime na nakumit niya, atin po yan sa barangay. Special siya. Then last requirement is there should be a private offended party. So always meron po tayong victim. May biktima palagi po yan. So yan po yung 4 requirements na kailan sasaklawin ng Katarungang Pambarangay kung ang involved na respondent ay isang minor de edad. At nandito rin po yan sa book na po ito, sa 2021 edition po. So ito po, this is intended for lupong tagapamayapa members talaga, no? At ang contents po ito yung mga frequently asked questions ng mga lupong tagapamayapa members during the conduct of my lectures and trainings nila. Kaya in-incorporate ko po dito yung mga questions po nila. At dito rin nyo makikita yung mainstay na characters po dito, si Kanoto at si Inyong. No? Kung nabasa na ni Kapitan to, si Kap Ayan at si Kap Pritz, no, makikita nila bakit si Inyong at si Kanoto palagi ang nandyan sa libro na yan. Dito ko na rin po i-reveal po. Bakit? Ito yung sinabi ng mami ko. Ang Ilocano ng Ayan daw is Inyong. Ang Ilocano ng Kenneth is Kanoto. Kaya yan, lumabas yung Inyong at Kanoto na yan. Para pag nababasa niyo to, at least ako yung naiisip niyo po. Vicente, meron ding Vicente. Tumatawa si Kap Ayan. Vicente, meron ding Vicente yan because Vincent po ako. Ilocano ng Vincent is Vicente, but yung Vincent nandun po sa baptismal ko. Wala po sa birth certificate ko po. Okay? So, yan po yung kwento ni Inyong at Kanoto po sa libro na yan. So, I think that's all for this author's talk, no, regarding my book, and I'm asking lahat, binabati ko, no, mga DILG officers na naka-on board ngayon, okay, mga DILG officers from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, okay, mga different batches ng mga DILG, then mga punong barangays, mga barangay officials, mga lupong tagapamayapa members, no, from different barangays. Special mention ko lang po ang Cebu City kasi ang daming naka-on board na Cebu City. Of course, Mandaue. And special thanks to Kap Fritz and Kap Ayan from Cebu City and Mandaue respectively. Then of course, my co-batchers in the local government academy or DILG, the two directors from Mandaue, Director John Mende and Director Juna Pino, mga 42nd batch po yan, na kabatch ko po sa academy po. And of course, my family, of course, the president of the Young Lawyers Association of Cebu, Attorney Mark Avila po. Siya yung president po namin ngayon sa YLAC. Okay, so thank you everyone. Thank you Rex for this opportunity na explain ko konti ano yung nilalaman ng book nito, ano yung benefits na makukuha ng mga barangays po. And of course, lawyers, maraming Supreme Court decisions, DOJ opinions, DILG opinions, marami po din dito. Magagamit po rin yung mga practitioners po natin. Law students, magagamit po din natin. This is because ito yung isang subject ng alternative dispute resolution po sa law school. Magagamit din po natin lahat. And lahat po. Okay? Even common tao po. Because you need to know ano yung process po sa barangay para hindi po tayo dediretso po sa mga abogado. Diretso po tayo kang kapitan. Okay? To avoid litigations, expensive litigations. No, na kaya pa lang pag-usapan po sa level ni kapitan yung dispute between the complainant and respondent po. Okay? So thank you. God bless everyone. Amping kanunay.
Thank you very much for the very rich presentation, Attorney Lucero. We are very honored to receive such expert guidance, especially at a time when the study and practice of law have become more challenging. In behalf of Rex Education, allow me to congratulate you on yet another feather in your cap with the release of this book. We look forward to learning more from you through your books and lectures. Congratulations, Attorney, and here's to more years of working together as stewards of legal education. All right, please be informed that you may ask questions to the speaker by typing them in the comments section. There will be time allotted for Q&A at the latter part of the session. And to tell us more about what makes the book an expert guide and a resource in the study of law, let us all give a warm welcome to Attorney Mark Avila, President, Young Lawyers Association of Cebu.
Good afternoon, everyone. Maayong hapon sa mga kapitan and lupon members from various barangays, personnel from the ILG and from Rex Bookstore, and to our viewers in FB Live, maayong hapon. I am delighted and honored to speak before you to commend the book of our fellow brother and a friend. Attorney Ayan Lucero is not only a friend but also a colleague of more than 10 years. He is a senior member of YLAC, the Young Lawyers Association of Cebu, and also a past vice president who served and led various legal aids during his term and was able to assist numerous barangays here in Cebu. It has always been a source of pride for YLAC to bear witness to outstanding and remarkable contributions of our fellow members towards public service, like conducting seminars and lectures of the Katarungang Pambarangay Law, and most of all, this book launching. Indeed, Attorney Ayan is one of the gems of YLAC. Taking up this challenge is not easy feat. This book, which is a product of hard work and dedication to the rule of law, it is clear and concise and offers much more information through its question and answer format. Based on my experience during my bar review, the Q&A format with explanation is the best way to study and remember the principles of law. Any layman can grasp and understand the basics. This book complements also the efforts of our government in improving access to dispute resolutions and towards enhancing knowledge and strengthening barangay governance and justice. The Katarungang Pambarangay Law, which is a part of our local government code, gives our barangays, which is the smallest unit of government, the mandate to enforce peace and order through its enforcement of human rights and justice. One of the challenges facing our barangays is to maximize and harness the KP as one of the most valuable mechanisms in administering justice and mediating conflict at the barangay level. Truly, this book serves as a primer for all barangay officials. It's concise and easy to understand. In essence, all possible queries of any barangay official can be answered in this book. The punong barangay, members of the lupon, and persons holding similar positions will find this book useful in their work on barangay justice. I am truly proud that a Wailac brother was able to produce a book that will help many, not only our barangay officials, but law students and even lawyers as well. The jurisdictional and procedural aspects of the KP law are all and well explained with clarity and emphasis in this book. I deeply believe that every lupon member should have the grasp and full understanding of the Katarungang Pambarangay to duly execute their duties fairly and efficiently. The simplicity yet concise discussion of this book helps any individual at every level and stage of their career understand the law and how to carry on with it. Again, congratulations, Attorney Ayan and Rex Bookstore. More power to you.
Thank you very much, Attorney Avila. And now we are very honored to be joined by another legal expert who can best guide us on how we can use the book for an optimum learning, especially for the upcoming bar examinations. Let us all give a warm welcome to Director John Joan Mende, City Director at DILG Mandaue City.
Mayang hapon sa tanan. Good afternoon, everyone. What I really like most about this book is that, and I also think this is the characteristic of the book that easily jumps out, is its Q&A format. The first impression that came out from the mouth of our KP focal person here in DILG Mandaue, LGO Jupiter Dawa, is that with this Q&A style, he said it would make his job of answering queries from barangay officials and lupon members easier. The questions contained therein are not only fundamental questions about the KP law, but I believe these questions are born out of the 20 plus long years of experience of Attorney Lucero, being a true-blooded DILG field officer. The book contains the common questions lupon members ask during KP seminars or from walk-in consultations by barangay functionaries and officials, and even from exchanges between and among DILG field officers during our regular conferences. This is how enriched the questions are in this book. And Attorney Lucero, the legal practitioner that he is, has meticulously laid down the basis of the answers he provides in this book. He laboriously cites from the basic law, jurisprudence, and DILG and DOJ opinions on the subject. This speaks of how detailed and logical the author is. Also, yung mga annexes, particularly the algorithm diagram of the KP process, I also found commendable and very, very helpful. It provides a comprehensive overview of the process that would lead the reader to that part of the KP law that is applicable in any particular stage or step of the process. Illustrative examples are also aplenty that will help the reader understand the specific provision, especially in the KP's jurisdictional aspect, where most KP practitioners need more understanding about. Readers will surely meet Kanuto and Inyong in their adventures or perhaps misadventures as they go through the Katarungang Pambarangay. This book is a must-have for all barangays. I would not be surprised that this knowledge product goes a long way as a material for educating the general public for about the KP law. Lastly, I would like to congratulate my batchmate, Attorney Kenneth Lucero, for this milestone, both as a lawyer and as an officer of the department. It has been said that to have a full life or even immortality, one should have planted a tree, written a book, and raised a child. From this enumeration, ang first na lang yata, hindi ko sure if tree ba yung na-plant ni Attorney Lucero. Kidding aside, this work, a useful knowledge product, will go down as his very significant contribution to good local governance. His passion about the subject matter is testament to his commitment and dedication in raising the bar of governance at the forefronts of our communities. Again, congratulations, Attorney Ian.
Thank you very much, Director Mende. Now, let us all listen to another expert evaluation of the book. Let us all give a warm welcome to Director Jonah V. Pino, ENP MPA, City Director at DILG, Lapu-Lapu City.
Good afternoon, everyone. To Attorney Ian, our author, to the Rex Bookstore personnel, to my colleague in the department, and fellow and other viewers in this Zoom, FB Live and Zoom. Maayong hapon ka natong tanan. The jurisdictional and procedural aspects of the revised Katarungang Pambarangay Law book, authored by Attorney Kenneth Lucero, is really a great help not only for the barangays, but as well as for the DILG coaches like me, who will also be updated on the Supreme Court jurisprudence in relation to Katarungang Pambarangay implementation. The content of this book provides detailed and direct answers on Katarungang Pambarangay issues which we usually encounter in the grassroots level. Thus, Attorney Lucero, the author, selflessly shared his expertise to the readers, and this truly reflects his values and character as a person, being an agent of change in the government and a dedicated public servant whose pure intention is only to help those in need and those who seek justice in the administration of the Katarungang Pambarangay. With this, I would like to congratulate again my fellow batchmate in DILG for the second batch, Attorney Ian Lucero, for this purposeful endeavor and for adhering excellence in local governance through this publication. More power, Attorney Ian, and may God continue to use you as his instrument of peace and harmony. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Director Pino. At this point, we will now be hearing more about how the works of Attorney Kenneth Lucero plays a significant role in shaping our young lawyers, aspiring lawyers, and our public servants today. Let us all give a warm welcome to Honorable Fritz Gerald D. Herrera, Punong Barangay, Barangay Lorega, San Miguel, Cebu City.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone, including our followers in FB Live, and of course, tune in our Zoom meeting today. But before anything else, I'd like to express my heartfelt appreciation to Attorney Lucero, for choosing this humble servant and taking part of his launching of this very, I would say, very noble work and very inspiring book, which we ought to have all barangay captains, not only in Cebu City, but I guess the rest of the country. No? But before I will proceed, I think everyone prior to me has already said a lot about the noble things and noble intentions of writing this book. But somehow, from the perspective of a barangay captain, which is really the forefront of the bulk of this Katarungang Pambarangay Law, which we ought to observe and to practice, which it is really, I would say, one of the few tasks that is being taken for granted, in most, if not all, barangay captains. I just came to realize that, dispensing the KP law in the barangay level, reminds me of the statement of Attorney Ayan a while ago, that we are actually facing three responsibilities when we will commit mistake or omission along the way, the criminal, the administrative, and likewise the civil, which carries some degree of penalty. With the book now, I think it's gonna be very handy, especially now that the law, the jurisprudence, the what do you call this? The policies keeps on changing, And with this recent publication of Attorney Ayan, I would say this would really be a big help, because in dispensing barangay justice system, if you don't have a reliable and very, I would say, competitive tool or an aid at your disposal at any time, I am really sure we're going to be having a problem later on. With this book, I can really tell that we can be depending on the wisdom and the hard work it was put into. And I do believe that Attorney Ayan, with his experience, with his number of years in the DILG, is really the competitive and I would say competent authority to speak about the Katarungang Pambarangay Law. I've been attending his seminars, and I always ask myself how I wish, there's this piece of material that everything what he's been saying to us will be compiled into a single book, So I'm so happy na gawas gid ni. And in fact, when Attorney Lucero kind of made a teaser in his Facebook page, I immediately went to Rex Bookstore, to check upon the copies of the book. But unfortunately, it's like selling a hot cake, It went out. It was sold out very soon. So I keep on waiting, and I asked my lupon to check on it. Unfortunately, we're able to get 2 copies, which is at that time were the only available copies. So I got hold of it. So I read about it, and I was so amazed. I was so amazed how he presented the thorough and very simple, yet very clear message, especially on the perspective of the barangay captain. Because the very important thing is when to accept the case, when we are confronted with a complaint in the barangay. That's the very ultimate and very essential decision to make, whether we accept this or it should be asked immediately to be filed immediately to court. No? So with this book now, I would say it would really be of great help, not only to a barangay captain, but also to our lupon. Because we all know in selecting the lupon member is not that highly technical in terms of qualifications. I have to admit, because of salary issue, or maybe because of kind of people na available to dispense the KP law, we are limited of settling, well, not so highly technical people or knowledgeable people. But nevertheless, with this book at our disposal, no, we can surely be guided properly and accordingly. And lastly, no, I'm so thankful with Attorney Lucero that you made mention about who are the characters you keep on mentioning in your book, no, in yung and Kanoto, yeah. I was checking on my memory and the anime characters, so I kinda check on those guys. I thought they were anime characters, no, but you explained it, and you told us that the real people or the real character is actually the same people or the same guy who wrote the book, Tony. So again, congratulations. I'm really proud that this barangay has been chosen for your launching, and hopefully we can share this knowledge information, especially to our constituents who sometimes think that everything should be going through the barangay. But I do believe there are limitations, and with your book, we can present it to them that indeed there are things that ought not to be in the barangay level, but sometimes can be go to the court directly. So thank you and congratulations, Attorney Lucero.
Thank you very much, Honorable Herrera. Last but not the least, let us all give a warm welcome to Honorable Ignacio Ian G. Cortez II, Punong Barangay Centro, Mandaue City.
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank or congratulate my namesake, Attorney Ian, for this wonderful project you have, and also to the Rex family for publishing this. I'd just like to say about this book. No? When it's been, I think, 2 years or 2 years in the waiting. Let me call it, because I think we were waiting for this book even when Ma'am Chow was still our city director, and at last now we got it. And again, I'd like to share my views with regards to this book. It is very helpful for us, the Lupon and me as the chairman, even though even my co-SB members really love to read it. You know why? It is so easy to understand. It has a very simplified approach with as what part of it was discussed by Attorney Ian a while ago, and it also has a great help, especially to our new Lupon members who don't have the experience yet. In fact, some of them also read the book and was so happy and eager to have our seminar again. And yet, the frequently asked questions were already contained in this book. And the only question that was not contained was the who, why, Kanuto, and Enyong. But fortunately, Attorney, you just mentioned it a while ago. And I think since we have the same name, first name, Aya, now I know who, what Kanuto and Enyong is. But again, I'd like to make this short. No, okay, I'm having a problem with my internet. Again, in behalf of the Mandawi City Liga and all the Lupon members of our city, I would like to congratulate you, Attorney Ayan, for giving this book to us, and it's very, very helpful for us in our duty as the Lupon members. Again, Attorney, congratulations.
Thank you for all these kind words, Attorney Avila, Director Mende, Director Pino, Honorable Herrera, and Honorable Cortez. Hearing your praises of the book gives us utmost pride for having been chosen and entrusted with the publication of this masterpiece. In the same vein, allow us to express our gratitude to you as well for being stewards of legal education and of law practice yourselves. Now we're opening the floor for our question and answer portion with our author, Attorney Kenneth Lucero. So feel free to comment your questions below. And as we move forward, I will be reading the questions in your behalf, Attorney. All right. Attorney, we have our first question from Ms. Saul Velez. Good afternoon po. Here is my question. If a certain dispute was not settled and the plaintiff was able to obtain a certificate to file action but did not file a case before the court, what will happen to that certificate? Will its validity expire for a certain period? Should the plaintiff decides to file the action before the court after the lapse of 3 months or 1 year after the issuance of the certificate, is the same certificate effective?
Hello. Okay. Ma'am, actually ang magpre-prescribe yan yung right to file an action niya. Hindi yung sa certificate to file action, no? Walang problema yan yung certificate to file action. Valid yan kung kailan niya gusto mag-file ng reklamo na sa court kasi meron na yung certificate to file action. Ang titingnan niya yung prescriptive period, yung karapatan niyang mag-file ng action before the court. Kung nag-prescribe yon, that is subject to dismissal of the case. Sigurado ang respondent, the lawyer of the respondent, sigurado gagawin niyang ground yan for the dismissal of the case on the ground of prescription, but not for the certificate to file action itself.
Thank you for that, Attorney. We have another question po. How about the dispute about the easement in a residential?
Residential, any pertaining to real properties, no, ejectment at anong involved, kahit anong dispute involving the real property, that is within the authority of that subject matter is within the authority of the Lupon. Just to comply yung additional requirement, yung subject requirement as to parties lang. But when it comes to subject matter of the dispute, real property dispute, that is covered ng Katarungang Pambarangay po.
Thank you, Attorney. We have another question from Isaac Dav. Is it proper for the Lupon to issue a certificate to file action in court after the complainant manifested that he will not enter into amicable settlement with the respondent even without the actual mediation proceedings?
No, hindi yan pwede. The mandate of the Lupon, no, is to exert all efforts, no. Kailan isunod nila yung proseso. That's why we have the 15-day period on the part of the punong barangay na yung batas hindi nagsasabi kung ilang hearings ang ikakandak. Ang sinasabi ng batas, you exert all your efforts. That's why pwede niyang i-reschedule para may calling off din. Kasi alam natin, especially if presko yung alitan, talagang mainit yung mga ulo, no? So ang suggestion ko rin, aside from this book, I strongly suggest that the Lupon members will undergo trainings on the strategies, the techniques, no? Hindi lang alam natin yung batas, but we should know how to attack. Paano natin i-handle yung mga different personalities No? So dalawa ang dapat na i-conduct na capacity development ng mga lupon members. So yung mangyari, hindi pa nga sila nag-limit, hindi pwedeng issuean kagad ng certificate to file action yan.
Thank you, Attorney. And for our last question po, from Terry Sita Tukeb, Barangay Secretary of Barangay Kabulihan. Attorney, naara ko'y pangutana gamay kay nahitabo ni sa among barangay. Adunay case nga naabot sa court nga wala naagi sa barangay, unya naabot sa court. Unya ni-request ang court nga ibalik sa barangay tungod kay mangayo sila og certificate to file action. Akong pangutana, Attorney, pwede ba ni mabalik sa barangay ang maong case nga nahitabo Manilas 2020 unya naabot na sa court?
Yes, that is within the authority of the lupon, no? Kasi yung reklamo na yan, the complaint, ay kailangan dapat dumaan sa barangay. Kaya nakita sa korte na idadaan muna sa barangay. Pupunta lang kayo sa korte kung meron kayong certificate to file action. But the barangay, since nakakuha sila ng order from the court na kailangan ipadaan muna sa barangay, you have to conduct the conciliation proceeding, the settlement proceeding. Huwag niyong immediately issue yung certificate to file action. Kasi magse-certify kasi kayo sa certificate to file action na you let them appear, may conciliation or may settlement proceedings, but may failure, no? Failed to settle. Kaya kayo magse-certify na pwede na silang mag-file ng kaso sa korte. Okay? So, you have to conduct the settlement proceeding first before the lupon po. Unahin muna natin yan.
Thank you very much, Attorney. And that's the end of our question and answer portion. Attorney Lucero, do you have anything else you want to say before we proceed with our online raffle?
Okay, just a short one. I'd like to thank all the yung nanonood, then yung nag-support ng book na ito. Especially din yung sa mga nagbigay ng book testimonials, no, from the WILAC president, from the 2 city directors of the LG here in Region 7, from my 2 punong barangays, Mandaue at sa Cebu City. Okay, and all the ILG, all barangay justice practitioners. Thank you, Rex Bookstore, of course. Thank you for the publication of this book, and hope we can provide the demands of the yung mga buyers natin or yung gagamit ng book na ito. And all my family, of course, no, kung wala yung family ko, of course hindi ko magagawa ito, and of course sa parents ko, although wala na sila, sa taas na, but this is for them. Sa parents ko and my mga kapatid ko po. So again, thank you everyone. Thank you for supporting this book of mine, and open din ako kung if you have suggestions how to improve pa itong knowledge product na ito, just communicate with me and gagawan natin yan for the future next edition po. Okay. So thank you po. God bless everyone.
Congratulations, and thank you once again, Attorney Lucero. All right, this time, as promised, we will now be giving away a copy of Attorney Lucero's new book. Who will be the lucky one to win the book Jurisdictional and Procedural Aspects, Revised Katarungang Pambarangay Law by our beloved Rex author, Attorney Kenneth Belmonte Lucero. Again, reminder, we will be announcing the name of the lucky person for this raffle wheel. If your name is called, please comment down present so we know you're here with us. We will then verify if it's you who won. However, if after 30 seconds we did not see any comment, we will be drawing another winner from our list of registrants. Good luck! All right, congratulations to Dex Taleon. Once again, congratulations to Dex Taleon. Sir Dex, if you're here with us today, kindly comment present in the comment section below so that we can verify if it's you. We will be giving you 30 seconds to comment present. Once again, congratulations to Dex Taleon. All right, congratulations, Dex Taleon. You have won a copy of Atty. Lucero's new book entitled Jurisdictional and Procedural Aspects, revised Katarungang Pambarangay Law. A Rex representative will be sending you an email regarding the details on how to claim your prize. Once again, congratulations, Dex Taleon. On that note, we have come to the end of this afternoon's program. Indeed, it was a very productive learning afternoon with our legal luminaries, Attorney Ian Kenneth B. Lucero, and our distinguished guests from the field of law. In behalf of Rex Education, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude for having been chosen as your partner in legal education. We look forward to more years of our fruitful partnership as we continue to work together to enable law students and lawyers achieve their dreams of becoming lawyers and excelling as one. To everyone who joined us this afternoon, thank you for learning with us and for choosing Rex to be your partner in learning. See you all in our next book launch and lecture. Thank you and keep soaring, Educampions.